Welcome to a Nightcap red carpet. Beverly, tell us what you're wearing.
Actually, I bought this when I was a sophomore in high school, so I don't remember where I got it, but I do remember that I got it on sale.
Oh, that's crazy.
And at this point in my life, getting things on sale means everything because I'm a college student.
Beverly, get out of your feelings, please.
Give me a second.
What?
Mom, I live off of you now, so I need it.
Ain't no shame in that, okay? Won't he do it? Beverly, get out your feelings, please. Because on this episode of Nightcap, we have a financial counselor coming to talk to us about how we're going to manage our coin.
Good, because God knows I need it.
Yeah, all right, but you know what we need to do first is stop what you're doing. Do, because I need your uninvited attention. I have some good, juicy stuff to spill. And why though, okay?
All right.
Okay?
You ready for it?
So let's go then. Okay, you must be living in a bubble if you haven't heard about all the allegations of sexual assault swirling around Mr. Puddin' Bop himself, Bill Cosby. Like 50,000 women have come out and accused Cosby of drugging them or committing some form of sexual misconduct. Well, I've seen a lot of posts on social media trying to make this whole thing with Cosby about race. But actor Michael J. White, some of you may know him from Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married or Spawn. I liked him in that. No shade. Took to Facebook to blast Cosby and all those who are saying they, meaning white people, set him up. In his Facebook post, he wrote, "If he never drugged anybody, he's still the most self-righteous, judgmental, and biggest known serial adulterer we've ever known." He then switches gears, and this is where it gets really good, and addresses how the black community deals with black men and infidelity, aka cheating. He said that when it comes to this, there is a double standard that black men have enjoyed over white men. Michael, who is a husband and father of 3 children, wrote, and I quote, "I am a black man who is disturbed by the fact that we can have infidelity in our lives and it not be a big deal." He put it in caps, so I screamed it. I'm sorry. Yeah, but he said it's like society is saying being faithful is above black men and below white men. He then went on to call out cheating black leaders like Martin Luther King. Ooh. And it was just his birthday. So happy birthday, MLK. And it was Jesse Jackson's birthday, so happy birthday to him.
And it's Black History Month, so
yeah, but how do you feel about this? Do you think he's right? Do you agree with him?
Personally, I feel like in this situation in particular, I'm trying not to see color because like rape is rape, sexual assault is sexual assault. Like you can't put a race on it, and just because you're African American or white doesn't make it better.
I think that what I got from the social media post, I think that everything that's going on right now with race, because race is, it's always been present, but I think that they're just, I don't want to say it wrong, but I feel like they're just using that, just overdoing it in a way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think they're just placing that. And then what he said about infidelity, I think it's totally right. Because I'm not going to say, like, names or whatever, but I've heard, like, grown-ups, you ain't listening to all the time. I've heard, like, people say, like, black community or black families, like, oh, men are men.
Yeah, like they make excuses or something.
Yeah, and I don't think that's fair. I'm not white. I don't know any white men like that, that are married, so I wouldn't know how that goes. But I do understand where he's coming from. I feel like black men have like this, what do they call it, a hall pass. Because
are you shade?
What?
You want to shade at Monique?
Well, yeah. Well, no. This has nothing to do with Monique. She gave her man a hall pass. That's on her. She wasn't precious. She was like, who gonna love me? So I guess that's how she felt.
Please.
All right. All I know is that I better not ever
Look at him hitting me
see you cheating. That's nasty.
Me? Ooh.
Okay, and speaking of cheating, we have to talk about our girl Tashina Arnold. Y'all remember her as BDB Pam from Martin, and she's also now in a new television series called Born Again Version. Well, recently, Tashina got a hold of some evidence that her husband has been acting like the opposite of a virgin. She alleges that her husband has been having extramarital affairs with not one, not a couple, not a few, but several women, okay? She claims the number of women is in the double digits. She also found a sex tape of her husband performing extracurricular activities with one of these nasty women without protection, you little nasty. And well, Tashina decided to send a mass text to her friends and family with her discovery and to announce that she is divorcing her husband of 3 years. Of course, someone sent the text to TMZ. Now, some people say she shouldn't have put him on blast, while others, like Wendy Williams, my girl, say she should have kept it private. What do you think? Did she go too far?
I feel like personally she shouldn't have handled it that way.
No.
You have to keep in mind that she is a public figure, so there's certain things that she does that she should take into consideration. And I understand that she was upset at that moment, and I understand that like in that very moment she was just like disgusted and betrayed. But you have to take into consideration that she also has a daughter, and her daughter's looking up to her. But then again, I feel like when a man does that, he makes himself prone to so many things, especially when like your wife is, you know, maybe crazy, like, or she has the tendency to do certain things that you're just like, whoa. Yeah. You know, like the character she played on Everybody Hates Chris. I don't know about y'all, but that didn't 100% seem like a character. Like you can tell she was a little crazy on the low. But, you know, her husband, what he did wasn't right. What she did wasn't right. You know, it didn't make it any better.
What? I kind of disagree with you. I don't think that she went too far. And I'm going to say this because maybe she did when she was so angry, she just went and she sent the text message. But I feel like, Tashina, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch Nightcap, but this is a message to you, Tashina. I feel like you can take this and be an advocate for women who like are tired of this mess. Like men cheating on them and think that it's okay, especially if it's in the double digits. That's ridiculous. So I think that she didn't go too far. And as for her daughter is quite young, but
she's like 12.
I feel like Tashina's smart enough to teach her daughter and tell her, listen, don't ever let a man step all over you. This could be turned into like a lesson more than just like a controversy and something bad. So go ahead, Tashina. We don't watch Born Again version. Didn't know that existed, but we'll check it out. Okay, and speaking of Wendy Williams, we have got to talk about her and the breast controversy. I love you, Wendy. I love you. I channel you all the time. How you doing? How you doing? Teabag and everything. So on a show, a recent show.
Today. It's really good.
Recent show on Wendy Williams, Wendy and her guest, actress Alyssa Milano, my girl from Charmed, got into a polite debate about breastfeeding. Now, 43-year-old Milano has been posting photos on social media showing her breastfeeding her daughter, Isabella, who is 16 months, and her son, Milo, who is sadly 4 years old and still getting breastfed. When Wendy asked her about it, Milano explained that she's become a breastfeeding advocate, and as a public figure, she wants to help normalize breastfeeding. Well, Wendy said she doesn't need to see all of that. And if she had to breastfeed, she would go in the privacy of her own car and not out in the public on a park bench. So Alyssa pointed out, why is it okay to openly show breasts in a sexual context? Wendy's response was that the main function of breasts is for a sexual purpose, calling them fun bags. I guess, well, in my opinion, the only disturbing thing about this story is that her son is still breastfed at 4 years old. Like, what is she, Brie Larson in Room?
Oh my goodness.
I don't get it. What do you think about this, Beverly?
Personally, at first I was all for the breastfeeding in public thing. Like, I didn't mind seeing like a woman in public breastfeeding her child because the child has to get fed. You know, you can't starve the kid just because you're in public. However, it changes when you see it actually happen in person and then the woman's breasts are exposed because her child like stops feeding off of it. And then like I was on the train too, so it kind of got kind of awkward, and I noticed like no one was really sitting around her, and you know the train was packed. It was like the 6 train at 3 p.m. So you know everyone was going back and forth on a weekday. So when I saw this, I kind of got uncomfortable, not because she was breastfeeding her child, because that's completely normal and she's allowed to do that, but because I felt like she was exposed, and maybe if she had like a blanket over the child, or you know, she like as soon as the child like stopped feeding off of her, like you know she was covered in some way, I wouldn't mind. But then when I saw that, like, as a woman,
I think I agree with Alyssa. I feel like, why is it okay for it to be like for breasts to be shown in a sexual context? Like they have other purposes except for that. Obviously breastfeeding. Yeah. But I mean, like you're right, covering and covering up. But I think, how do I say it? Like there is a community that believes in Alyssa and what she's doing. Absolutely. So if she puts that on social media, I don't think that's a problem. It's not for you. It may be in the public. It's not for you. It's for the people she's trying to reach.
I mean, her putting it on social media, I don't think was a problem as long as she knows who her followers are and she knows who her fans are. You know, because you might be a person who stands for one thing, then you put another thing on social media, and then you just start a whole big riot, like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
But it's all about who she is and what she stands for. So, I mean, as
and
long
Alyssa, if they have a problem, you just cast a spell on them. Use your little charm powers. You'll be fine.
Devon, you had some good tea today. Really
Thank
proud.
you.
You did well.
Thank you.
I want to see what our viewers have to say. Please visit our Facebook page, as you see on the bottom of the screen. It's not on yours, it's on mine. You can also Snapchat us. Our Snapchat is Snapchat Nightcap MNN.
Snapchat us that, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say that also,
right,
but I thought that was kind of
DM.
inappropriate,
okay,
so I just decided not to.
It's the new year.
Yeah.
Your winter break is over.
Yes.
So, were you ready to go back to school? Or?
I was so ready to go back to school. I just wanted to get the spring semester over with,
You were tired.
Yeah, I was tired. You know, college goes by way faster than high school and middle school and elementary school, so I just wanted to get it over with and just keep moving forward.
Awesome. And your parents, were they tired of you? Were they over you?
My father was over me because I kept comparing the house to St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
I would say something like, oh, if I were at St. John's, I would have so much Subway right now, or I'd have food, or I've had this, I'd have that.
That's a shame.
And my father was like, all right, then go back.
All right, D.
Exactly. But my mother wanted me to stay. Like, she was genuinely like, Beverly, come on. Yeah.
We love you, Mom.
Yeah. Hashtag love you, Mommy. Hi.
Oh my God.
Speaking of the new year, did you make any resolutions?
I don't believe in resolutions. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't think that you should sit up here and try to change your ways when you could do it any day of the year. You wait a whole year to change.
Be careful not to trip coming down from your soapbox.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what do you think the top 3 most...
What? What? What?
What do you think what do you think are the top 3 most common resolutions?
Okay. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna be a better person. And I'm gonna try to be like Devon, which never happens to people. They try to imitate the legend that is, but will never be.
Yeah, well, you got the first one, lose weight. The next one is getting organized, and the third is spending less and saving more, according to a Wall Street Journal article. How are you with money? Would you say you're a spender or a saver? Why aren't you looking at me?
I am. I am in my head, I'ma save the money, but when it get in my hands, I go off. Like, for real. I feel like Bow Wow in Lottery Ticket in that scene where he shops for the whole neighborhood.
And he goes to Foot Locker and he's just like, I want all of it.
All the characters that were not in the scenes before, whatever. But what about you? Like, how has it being in college affected your spending habits?
Well, being in college has definitely made me save more because I'm naturally a saver. Every other night my roommates are like, oh, let's order takeout or let's go out, let's go to a party, let's go shopping. I'm like, nah, I gotta save I have to save my money for Metro cards and essentials because college is one of those places where if you don't watch your money and don't manage, it will fly out your bank account and you're gonna call mommy and daddy and say I need more money. They're gonna be like, Beverly,
that's too bad.
Just last week we sent you blah blah blah. And you know, I don't want to be in that situation where I have to keep asking. So I want to save as much as I can.
She wants to be independent.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I love it. Well, it sounds like you know how to spend you know how to spend well and separate wants from needs. I'm just starting to do the same thing, just a little bit. I realized when prepping for the show that we as young people don't have enough conversations about money beyond what we want to buy and wear and eat. This reminds me of when we had a production meeting, when you weren't there. Yeah. It was with Gisele. Hey, Gisele. And Tiffany was just talking to us, Aunt Tiffany, our producer.
Hey, Aunt Tiffany.
Mother. She was talking to us, Mother, about the show and like about financial questions and asking all this stuff about financial stuff. And literally, I was shaking my head the whole time. She's like, do you know what credit is? I was like, no. She's like, do you know how to build your credit? I was like, no. She was like, do you know how to create a budget? I was like, a little bit.
Yeah, the Apollo, right?
Yeah, the Apollo. Thank you so much. She was like, what do you do about banking? I'm like, girl,
I let my mom handle
girl,
that.
You tried to get off the try to train. I couldn't.
Oh my goodness. Last semester, I took a financial literacy course that I found very helpful. It helped me learn about stuff like you know, how to start getting a credit card, how to build credit, why credit's important. An agent from, I believe, Wells Fargo came to my school to come talk to us, and it was very helpful, actually.
Well, I think there should be financial literacy courses before we get to college because myself, I'm financially like illiterate.
Only financially?
But, yeah. But I am about to get my ass set in order because here to join us is the guru of the green, Tashelle George. Tashelle is the founder of Mind Your Money. I love that name. Mind Your Money. Mind Your Money. Mind Your Money is a financial literacy program for youth and young adults, and she is going to teach us how to handle our coinage with care. And when I say us, I mean you and me. Forget the fact that she's a saving saint, Beverly, and she saves a lot of money.
Yes, always.
Yeah, totally. Come on out, Tashelle. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So when I read your bio, I absolutely love the story of how and why you got started with Mind Your Money. So please share with our viewers what it's about.
Sure. So I didn't know a whole lot about money management when I was growing up.
Okay.
Money was always sort of a taboo subject at home. I just heard, you know, we don't have it or we don't have a lot of it, so don't waste my money, essentially. Right. But then when I got older and I had to start making some financial decisions on my own, I ended up making a lot of mistakes, like running up a lot of credit card debt, bouncing checks, running up fees. It was financially painful.
Oh, goodness.
And so once I was able to recover from those mistakes, I just started asking a lot of questions and doing a lot of reading and talking to adults and started to, mind my money and figure out what I needed to do. And I started to share what I learned with my friends in college, and they said, well, hey, I wish we had learned this, and you should teach. I said, okay, well, I'll think about that. And I just kept talking, and eventually it blossomed into, a program where I am teaching young adults about money management.
What does it mean to be financially literate?
So to be financially literate really just means that you have a basic understanding of money management and money management terms.
So me and my mom, we were just talking about credit, and it was scaring the crap out of me. So tell our viewers, what is credit?
So credit is really just when you borrow money with a promise to pay. So if you have a credit card, that means that the bank or the credit card issuer is loaning you a certain amount of money, a credit limit, and you are promising to use that money and pay it back with interest within a certain period of time.
Great.
As I said earlier, I took a financial literacy course last semester, and the instructor recommended that we get credit cards. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think getting a credit card is a good way to help build your credit. If you think about it, your credit report or your credit profile is really like your report card. It's giving someone who's going to loan you money, an opportunity to see how responsible you've been in the past with managing that money and repaying the debt on time. So if you're going to borrow, if you're going to take out money, say for a car loan, for example, the car leasing company wants to know for sure that they're going to get their money back from you on time. And the way they figure that out is by looking at your past payment history.
At what age should we start building our credit?
So you could start building your credit as early as 18 with a credit card or with a loan.
Perfect. I'm 18, so perfect.
I know you have 2 sons. At what age did you allow them to get credit cards?
Well, my sons are actually very young. So my youngest is 8 and my oldest is 10. So they're not credit card ready just yet. But we do talk about money quite a bit in our household. And I started talking with them about money actually as soon as they started talking to me about it. And that might have been as early as, maybe 3 years old. And so when we're going to the store, if they're asking, to buy something, we'll talk about how much it costs or how much do you need to have it. They started, getting an allowance maybe, a few years ago. And when they have their allowance, they break it up into different sections of save, spend, and give so that they know how to use the money when they get it.
Okay.
Awesome.
So are all credit cards created equally? And what if I have a store credit card like Macy's? Would that help me build my credit?
So a store credit card, yes, can help you build your credit, but store credit cards tend to carry a higher interest rate. And so the interest rate is the percentage of the money that you have to pay back once you've used it. So the store cards do tend to carry a higher rate. Bank cards tend to carry a lower interest rate.
Can you build credit without credit cards?
Oh, absolutely. You can, as long as you're borrowing money, say for a loan, that's one way that you can, and paying it back, that's one way that you can build credit. There are also some other unique ways to build credit. For example, there are some places where, just by paying your rent, if you're paying your rent at a bank or something like that, the bank may be able to report those rent payments, and that rent payer may be able to build credit that way too.
Okay.
What about prepaid credit cards or debit cards? Do those help build credit?
So no, unfortunately they don't. A prepaid card is not going to help you build your credit, and a debit card is not going to help you build your credit either, because those aren't loans that you're going to use and then repay. What could help you build your credit is a secured card, which you might think of as a prepaid card. So a secured card is one where you put down a certain amount of money and you basically establish your own credit limit, and then you borrow against that, and then you pay it back. Once you've paid it back over a certain period of time, maybe 6 months to a year, the bank could then give you a full credit card where they're giving you the money to borrow.
If debit cards, which you receive when you open a checking or savings account, don't directly establish your credit history, what's the purpose of even opening the checking or savings account? Can't we just simply go to the cash checking place and just cash our paychecks? And
oh, you could go to the check cashing place, but then you'd be paying a fee and giving up some of your hard-earned money just to cash the check.
That is the worst part of cashing my check.
It
really is.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but if you think about it, it's a lot.
It does start to add up.
Yeah.
And then if you have any bills that you need to pay and you start buying money orders from those check cashing places, the money order fees start to add up too. So the benefit of having a checking account is that you can just deposit your checks into your checking account for free, and you can access your money, your checks, your debit, all of that you can access for free. So it actually does end up saving you money in the end, and it gives you a safe place to store your money.
Thank you.
What factors should you consider when you're choosing a bank?
So there are a number of things that you should consider, but honestly, I think you can just go for convenience, like what really works for you. Think about how you want to use the bank. Do you want to go often, in person? Do you need to interact with the teller? Do you plan on going to the ATM a lot to make a lot of withdrawals? Find out what sort of features the banks are offering. And if you're a student, 18 or under, you can get a bank account for free with no fees usually, because many banks offer free student checking accounts.
That's great.
Okay, so now we're turning our attention to budgeting. What is a budget or spending plan, and what purpose does it really serve?
So a budget or a spending plan is really just sort of taking a look at all of your sources of income. So where's the money coming from? And then taking a look at all of your expenses and how much do they cost, and figuring out honestly whether you have enough income to support your expenses. And I always like to say you should also include savings as an expense. A lot of times what people do is they subtract their expenses from their income, and then if there's anything left over, they'll consider that savings. But then what if you don't have anything left over? Then you don't have any savings. So if you factor in savings as an expense, then you'll be sure to have some money set aside.
That's a good point. How should teens and young adults go about creating a spending plan?
So for teens and young adults, I think one of the hardest things for them when they're thinking about a spending plan is having a consistent source of income.
Okay.
And so this is where I really like to encourage parents that if they are thinking about offering an allowance, they really should do so and be consistent with it. Just like, an adult who's working can consistently rely on getting a paycheck every, week or every 2 weeks. And that helps you to budget. The consistency of knowing when the money comes in helps you to budget. And so for teens, I would say they also need a consistent stream of money so that they know exactly how much they have and how much they can spend.
So for natural spenders like myself, because I just can't not spend, sticking to a spending plan would be it wouldn't be easy. So what are some practical things natural spenders should do to curb their spending?
So I would say Maybe think about carrying cash if you feel like small amounts of cash if you think it's safe, as opposed to using the debit card. Because what I find with the debit card is when you're swiping, it's harder for you to keep track of exactly how much money you have left in the account because you're not really scrutinizing the receipts or your balance.
I've always thought it the other way around, like rather carry the card than the cash because the cash is more easy to just give
The cash is easy to spend, but if you are the one who are going to the ATM machine to get the cash, then you can consciously make that decision of how much cash am I going to spend this day or this week. And then once the cash is gone, then you can hopefully stop spending at that point.
That's actually a really great tip because personally, as a college student, I know I just swipe all the time because it's hard to keep cash on me, and having to go to the bank and take out money would honestly make me think about the purchases I make and what I'm spending my money on. So I think that's a great point. Devon also brought up a good point. We should be learning about all of this before we get to college. Why do you think financial literacy isn't emphasized in the educational system?
Well, I think there might be an assumption that it's something that should be taught at home. In some homes it is taught, but in a lot of homes it's not. So I always encourage students, young adults, parents to just start having conversations about it at home. And if it's something that you really want to have more of as part of your formal education, then talk to your teachers about it too and see if they can work it into the curriculum.
Okay, because I've read that only 4 states require high school students to take personal finance classes, and I think it's a big deal that we know how to manage our money.
So since finances aren't really taught in school, we learn our stuff about finances from our parents. And I know you yourself, you have 2 young ones. Shout out to the 2 young ones. So I know they do take advantage of, your spending. So my question is, at what age should parents start telling their children about money and teaching them how to, go about spending money?
Well, I think with most things with kids, you talk to them when they're ready to talk to you about it, when they're ready to have the conversation, and you have age-appropriate conversations with them about it.
Else, Awesome.
Okay. Tashelle, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate you coming. It is a huge topic, and there are so many things that we didn't get to touch on, so please accept our invitation to come back.
Thank you so much.
Devon, I hope you've been inspired to mind your money. We're going to give you all our social media information, then it is time for our Nightcap Spotlight. Nightcap Spotlight. I'm so excited about the musical guests we have coming on.
You get excited about everyone we get on Nightcap.
That's because this is my favorite segment.
Well, because you're a fraud.
This one is special because most of the talent we have featured have been people that we know.
But this person, our social media correspondent, found her performing on the train. She grabbed her information and we reached out to her and voila.
Yes, the melodic voice of Lee Anderson could be heard on your train ride home or in the many venues she performs in throughout the city.
I'm glad you said her voice was melodic because because if Grace had a voice to it, it would be Lee's. Just recently, she released a video for her song, Detached. Yes. Take a look.
Am I the only one that's feeling hopeless about my love? Is it time to let go? I feel a difference, like you're drifting away from me. A separation.
That's all we're gonna give you for now. You're gonna have to wait to hear the rest. Come on out here, Lee. Hi.
As you can see, we have an all-black memo going on. Catch the fashion.
Catch the fashion. As the diligent host that we are, we saw your interview on the website. Your website, IamLeeAnderson.com.
Yes.
And where you tell the story of how, you got started and everything, and I thought it was just so sweet. So tell us more about that.
Okay. I don't know. I've just been singing as long as I can remember, like all the way back to just hanging out with my dad in his man cave and listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire, Phil Collins, Prince, everything you could possibly think of, because he had a huge collection of vinyls. He still does have it.
Born in D.C., raised in South Carolina,
Yes.
and now you're in New York. Wow. How did you make it all the way here? And tell us what you were feeling when you arrived.
Okay, how did I make it? After I graduated from college, it was hard for me to find a job because I graduated with Bush. No comment. But the theater world really welcomed me into that. So I spent 5 years of my life just performing at regional theaters, doing resorts, just pretty much creating my own tour, working with different companies around the country. So I collected a lot of beautiful, talented people, and they all advised me to eventually move to New York and pursue a career in music. And I was like, really? I love musical theater. They were like, no, you're right. You should be in New York and you should be doing music. And I still act and dance a little bit, but music is my heart, and that's what I want to pursue, and that's what's going well.
That's great.
Yeah.
How did you start performing in the subway?
I think about the 90s, because I'm heavily influenced by hip hop. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that's what rappers would do. They would sit on the block and they'd be like, here, just listen to me, just listen. Like, they'll have headphones, and I'm like, and someone actually mentioned that to me, like, you need to be out there actually handing your music to people. So how could I do that? Oh, the trains. I know people that do that already. So it was easy for me just to learn. My friend Kafele, he pretty much just eased me into it and showed me how to do it. So
Great.
yeah.
How would you describe your sound?
Adult contemporary R&B.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Rhythm and blues. Drum heavy. It's blues. It's sad. It's exactly what I am.
In the same interview that you talked about your father,
Yeah.
you had a difficult time saying what artists of today that you like, because you said that music industry has changed. Explain that.
It has, but it's changed again, and I'm excited because people are actually sounding like themselves now.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I'm a part of it.
Who are artists that you think that they've never tried to stick to something that is one thing they switched it up? What artist do you think did that?
Oh, Janet Jackson.
Janet
But
Jackson.
she still sounds like herself. She's done every single genre, but she still sounds like Janet, and
Yeah.
it's commendable. I want to be like that.
Tell us the story about the flute, about your flute and what you call her. Is she around?
Yeah, she's here. She's lurking. But no, like I said, I always had music in my heart, and also my sisters too. And we all joined the marching band. We all learned how to play our instruments around the same time. But we had to choose our own gift. We had to choose our own instrument. My sister played clarinet. My other one plays saxophone. She still plays it too. She used to wake me up to it when we lived together. It was awesome. But I chose the flute, and my mom didn't tell us that she played the flute until after we chose our instruments. And she's like, okay, since you are pursuing music, as a profession, you could take my flute. So I have a flute from the 60s. It's 100% silver. Please, nobody don't rob me. Please don't. But, but I love it. It's the only thing I work with right now. So
does she have a name?
It's a little embarrassing.
What's her name?
Flutie Tootie Fresh and Fruity.
That just gave Devon life.
That just gave me life. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you had to choose music, would it be music with no lyrics or lyrics with no music? Which one would you choose?
Lyrics and no music. I can still beatbox.
That's true.
Wow.
Don't get
me started. Do not get me started, honestly.
How would you define the success, and what needs to happen to say you have been successful?
Living in the moment, taking every step, whether it's a baby step or a huge step, and realizing that this is where I should be, and taking in every single beautiful moment, not just always rushing. So if I could look at my calendar, have a full calendar, and actually grasp each moment and love each moment, because I love this moment right here, then that would be success to me, not just, and staying humble.
Yes, very much. Because some artists don't do
That's
that.
key.
Major key, major key. Tell our viewers where they can find you on social media.
Well, definitely. If you just look on anything, it's I am Lea Anderson on anything. That's my website, www.IamLeeAnderson. Instagram, I am Lee Anderson. But YouTube is a little bit different because, it was when I was going through a really rap mode. I'm the lyrical gangsta murderer, so I'm music by lyrically on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We're gonna go let you set up and do your thing.
Thank
Sorry,
you so much for coming.
I scared y'all.
We're hood, okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna bid our farewell to our viewers.
Yeah, this is the part of the show that I hate because you all don't get a chance to see my beautiful face again until the next show. And look at these eyebrows. I mean, like, can we get a close up? Because I'm just like, no, you're mad. Boom, you're mad.
Did you see the fleet today though?
Bye. Oh, it's painted on, honey. She can't do the dab, y'all. It's gonna do her forearm. Oh, gosh.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we are doing our best to connect with you all out there through social media. So like us on Facebook because we love you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Snapchat because we are definitely going to follow you back. The next voice you hear is Lee's.
Lies. It's gonna be mine. See y'all next time.
Hey, my name is Lee Anderson. This is my song Detached. It's now on iTunes, and you can watch the video on my YouTube.
Am I the only one that's feeling hopeless about my love? Is it time to let go? I feel a difference, like you drifted away from me. A separation, two worlds apart, a growing distance from your heart to mine. Says let him go, let him turn away from me. Love and leave me, kiss me to release me, hold me tonight, then walk away tomorrow. I see you drifting away, I see you drifting from my love. Thought what we had was something true. You don't love me like I do. Now you're miles away, detached from you. Am I the only one that's feeling the change? You don't even touch me or hold me the same. What did I do to make it turn away from me? Have I mistaken? Is this all in my head? Insecurities getting the best of me. It says goodbye, don't turn away from me. If you want to leave me, let's make this easy. Let's make love, then walk drifting from my love. Thought what we had was something true. You don't love me like I do. Now you're miles away to detach from you. From you.
She's always there to love you, always returns your calls, always lifts her finger to make sure you avoid the fall. She's always there to notice the little things that make you you. She knows everything about you, your secrets and your truth. She's perfect, too perfect. She makes you so happy. She keeps you on your feet. She fulfills all your needs. To love her is so easy because she's what you need. She makes you all you can be. She loves you more than I could. I always knew that you would go and find something better. She loves you more than I could. She loves you more than I could. I wasn't there to hold you. I never picked up the phone, 'cause I'm always on the road, going from show to show. I never told you how I felt, 'cause I was afraid of commitment. To give you the love you need, I'll have to give up my dream. But you're perfect, too perfect, so I ran away from you. Now I have to face the truth. She loves you more than I could. I always knew that you would go and find something better than what I could give to you. It hurts to know she loves you more than I could. I always knew that you would go and find something better than what I could give to you. It hurts to know she loves you more than I could. You ever been with a girl like me? You can't handle a girl like me. You'll just put me on a pedestal, use my name to make them look good inside. 'Cause I'm more than just a trophy. I got a lot of good things going for me. If you wanna have this cutie, this ain't the way to do me. I got much more inside. I said I want to Said I want to fall in love, but not that type of guy. You gotta love me for me. Tell me what you see when you look at me. Tell me you see past my face. Find a different place, another space in my mind, inside. Cause I need a man who's down for me, who would support my dreams, help me reach my dreams. I need a go-getter, hard worker. Oh yeah, I said I want to fall in love, but not that type of guy. You gotta treat me like a lady. Oh, said I want to fall in love, but not that type of guy. Love me for me, to kiss me, to miss me, to hold me, to mold me, to rock me, to need me, to hold me, to touch me, to warm me, to squeeze me, to please me. I want love, love, to kiss me, to miss me, to hold me, to mold me, to rock me, to need me, to hold me, to touch me, to warm me. Hey, oh, oh, oh. Said I want to fall in love, but not that type of guy. You gotta treat me like a lady. Said I want to fall in love, but you gotta love me for me. You gotta love me for me. Oh, said I want to fall in love, but not that type of guy. You gotta treat me like a lady. Oh, said I want to fall in love, but you gotta love me for me. You gotta love me for me. Oh, oh, you gotta love me for me. Oh. Thank you.
We need to help each other, and we need places to stay at, not burning up houses or robbing stores or none of that. Like kicking in stores, stealing, taking all the shoes and taking the money. Like we need the money, and the white people is not trying to get back our money so we can build all this stuff over again so it can look more better how it was now. Because this world is not, I see in the future that this world's gonna be like destroyed.
I think it's a manifestation of what happens when you put people in dire conditions, in a society that doesn't value who they are as human beings. And that create, Freddie Gray is symbolic of the devastation that people have been feeling in their communities and continue to feel. And so what we're seeing is the eruption of that. And the only sustainable solution to that problem is to actually deal with the cause of the conditions that produce the anger over Freddie Gray's death at the hand of law enforcement. And we can try to, tell people, particularly young people, got to get your act together, got to do this and that, but those aren't sustainable solutions to really getting broad-based change.
But when it's time for black and brown people to express their anger and outrage, it's always told, no, be calm, be peaceful, when violence is consistently inflicted upon us. So that alone is interesting to me. So in my mind, these aren't riots. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't even consider this violence. This is just an expression of anger. It may be misplaced and misdirected, And that's subjective. To each person, that's going to vary. But the reality is, this was bound to happen. You can't kill black and brown people consistently and expect them not to feel a type of way the next time it happens.
I personally don't consider them riots. I consider them like an unrest type of deal. Because it's not really just because Freddie Gray is dead. It's because this has been brewing for like years. Black people have just been sitting back waiting for or watching police attack us for no reason and kill people at the hands of their own people, like Tyrone West and Anthony Anderson. Just black people dead, dropped like flies because of cops, the people that we were taught to trust.
It's very hard when you live in a place that's designed to oppress you, and so a lot of black youth, a lot of black students don't have access to education, and so they're cut off kind of at the root to be able to be educated. And we all know when you're not educated, you're not really paid attention to. People don't listen to you, and so when you go to voice those concerns, people are like, oh, those are just wild people. They just tripping. They don't have any education, and so that's another tier of the frustration is this constant talking, this constant, there's a problem here, this constant, showing and telling and demonstration, but it's not being responded to because people don't feel that black people are important.
America promoting democracy in all these foreign countries, but you're denying blacks, Hispanics, and poor whites they due process and equal protection here in America. You use CNN and all these major news stories when they were doing Arab Spring, when they was rioting over in Egypt, when they was rioting over in Syria. Well, you got problems right here in America. The same rights that they want over there, we want right here. And if our government ain't gonna give them to us, it's the people's right to take it. Democracy was born on civil disobedience.
Father God, once again, we humbly come to your throne of grace. You said, oh Lord, in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, that if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray, God, we come seeking your face, and we're turning from our wicked ways.
Yes, sir.
Then shall we hear from heaven.
Yes.
And our land
Shall
be healed.
Thank you, Lord.
Bless us, oh Lord.
Bless us.
In the name of Jesus the Christ, I do pray. As we all say together in agreement, amen, 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 amen.
I don't even know if I can bring myself to tell my people not to be angry, not to be violent, not to loot. Because you've proven to us once again that black lives aren't valuable. And you're proving to us right now that you're complaining about 4 cop cars being damaged and some glass windows being broken during a Saturday protest when there was a young man killed by cops. So now you're telling me that property is more valuable than his life.
I don't feel safe like that because they can just do anything around they said if we don't be in the house at around 10 o'clock our curfew, they gonna start shooting us and try to kill us. That's not good. The really person they really need to try to catch is the bad people and the robbers and everything. They're not doing it. They just killing innocent people and that's not right.
Hey you!
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Are you tired of dominant media misrepresenting who you are? Do you often feel voiceless and that your story isn't being portrayed in dominant media?
I feel voiceless. Where the heck is my story?
Do you want to pursue a career in video editing and journalism, but don't know where to start? If you're between the ages of 18 to 24, well, you've come to the right place.
Here at the Youth Media Center, we work to produce videos about cultural and social justice issues. Our interns are eligible to receive credit for their work and advance to paid internships.
Oh my goodness gracious, I'm gonna need more time to finish this.
This internship has a 3-day turnaround. That means you submit your film project 3 days after filming, or else.
At our state-of-the-art professional facilities, we produce in-depth media by providing an alternative to the stories portrayed by dominant media. We also certify you in using Adobe Premiere Pro. The Youth Channel, a place for fun, experience, diversity, and representation. Apply today to our digital journalism internship. Go to www.mnn.org/youth or follow us on our social media pages.
Visibility is very important to me, to make sure that my personal story and my parents' story and my culture stories remain embedded throughout just history, right? And I can't always expect other people to write about my culture, right? Especially if they may not have that experience. So I guess in some ways it's a type of social responsibility to write about what's truthful to you, but also to make sure that you are a part of the narrative.